Welcome to the Narcissism Freedom channel. If you found this video, it's not by accident. Something inside you is stirring, calling you to remember who you are, to rise from the pain, and to reclaim the truth they tried to erase. This is your confirmation that you are not broken, you are being rebuilt. And you didn't lose your value. You were just placed in the hands of those who didn't know how to care for you. But now you're unstoppable. There was a time when you gave your love freely, with no second guesses. Your heart was open. You were willing to pour into others without asking for anything in return. You saw people not as they were, but as they could be. You forgave quickly, gave the benefit of the doubt often, and chose compassion even when it cost you. You didn't come with an ego. You came with light. You came with sincerity. You came with a desire to heal others even while silently carrying your own wounds. But the very qualities that made you rare also made you vulnerable to those who saw your light and wanted to dim it. They took your kindness for weakness. They saw your loyalty as an opportunity for control. And instead of loving you, they used you. They toyed with your trust. They manipulated your emotions. They made you question your own intuition. Slowly, they chipped away at your sense of self. They handled you like you were disposable, like your presence wasn't a gift, like your heart wasn't sacred ground. They should have handled you with care. They should have recognized the weight of your energy, the value of your spirit, the sacredness of your love. But they didn't. They mishandled you because they couldn't match you. They couldn't honor you because they weren't aligned with you. And so, they treated your presence like it was ordinary when it was anything but. You were labeled by the universe as fragile in one sense, yet powerful in another. Fragile because your heart was pure. Powerful because your resilience was divine. And when they shattered pieces of you, they thought that would be the end of your story. But they forgot something crucial. They forgot that the very act of breaking you would become the reason you rise. What they intended for harm became the soil in which you were rooted deeper, stronger, more firmly into who you truly are. Let them underestimate you. Let them think they won. Because every tear you cried was watering the seeds of your transformation. Every night you spent questioning yourself was actually clearing the fog from your vision. Every betrayal became a mirror showing you the depth of your strength and the necessity of your healing. You didn't lose yourself. You were reintroduced to the version of you that was buried under other people's projections. Now you stand with clarity. You speak with power. You move with intention. You love, but you love with wisdom. You give, but you give from a place of fullness, not emptiness. You see red flags clearly. You no longer negotiate with chaos. You are no longer available for confusion, for disrespect, for low vibrational energy that drains your soul. You have learned that self-respect is sacred, and peace is a non-negotiable. They should have handled you with care. They should have spoken to you gently, honored your boundaries, cherished your presence, and protected your vulnerability. But their inability to do so isn't your reflection, it's theirs. Their mishandling of you isn't a sign that you were too much. It's proof that they were never enough to hold what you carried. You were divine from the beginning, but now you walk in that truth unapologetically. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed validation. You no longer seek closure from those who refuse to give it. You've learned that silence is a response, and walking away is an act of self-love. You've stopped trying to explain your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. And in that release, you've made space for power to rise, for peace to settle, and for your purpose to guide you forward. You are no longer who you were when they mishandled you. You've evolved. You've healed. You've awakened. You've come home to yourself. You now protect your light instead of begging others to see it. You understand that not everyone deserves access to you. You don't feel guilty for having standards, for requiring effort, or for demanding truth. You now know that boundaries are not walls. They're gates to keep your sanctuary safe. There's a fire in you now. Not the kind that burns out of rage, but the kind that refines, that fuels your purpose, that ignites passion. Your experiences didn't destroy you, they activated you. You've become someone you never thought you could be. Someone strong, someone wise, someone spiritually grounded and emotionally mature. You now wear your scars as armor, not wounds. You no longer look at your past with shame, but with reverence, for it forged you. And here's the truth. You are unstoppable not because you haven't been hurt, but because you kept going. You kept rising. You kept showing up for yourself. You kept believing, even when your heart was shattered. You kept loving, even when it was dangerous. You kept standing, even when everything tried to knock you down. That is your power. That is your beauty. That is your miracle. They may watch from a distance now, realizing too late what they lost. But this time, you won't bend, you won't chase, and you won't entertain the same cycle. You've broken the pattern. You've outgrown the dysfunction. And now you rise. You rise as someone who no longer makes excuses for other people's toxic behavior. You rise as someone who no longer overextends to earn love. You rise as someone who chooses healing over history, purpose over pain, and faith over fear. You rise because you know who you are and what you carry. You are unstoppable because you've aligned with something higher than the lies they told you. You're connected now to your intuition, to the divine, to your higher self. You trust the timing. You trust the lessons. You trust yourself. And that self-trust is your superpower. It's what guides you to walk away when necessary. It's what empowers you to say no without apology. It's what gives you the strength to rebuild, even when your hands are shaking. Watch the full video and let this message anchor you. Let it remind you that your past doesn't define you. What happened to you is real, and the pain was deep, but you are not what they did to you. You are who you chose to become in the aftermath. And what you've chosen is victory. No one sees the silent battles you fought, the nights you cried in secret, the days you barely held on. But heaven saw, the universe saw, and now your light cannot be hidden. Your story is a testimony. Your journey is sacred. Your power is undeniable. Thank you for watching the Narcissism Freedom channel. If this message spoke to your heart, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Let it reach someone else who's still in the fire. Let them know they're not alone. And if you feel led to support the mission of this channel, you can donate using the link in the description. Every act of support helps us reach more souls on their path to healing. Keep healing. Keep rising. Keep protecting your peace. You were always meant to shine. You were always meant to overcome. You were always meant to be unstoppable. And now that you know the truth, there's no turning back. Go forward, fierce and free. Because they should have handled you with care, but now you've learned how to handle yourself. And that's what makes you truly powerful.